Welcome back to today's video. In today's video, we're taking a look here at a Joe Biden versus Donald Trump rematch. If Donald Trump and Joe Biden tie at 269 to 269 electoral votes, let's go into today's video. Welcome back to today's video. In today's video, I'm taking a look at a Joe Biden and Donald Trump rematch. Now, before we begin today's video, guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and like the channel. It's really helpful if you're able to subscribe to the channel. Now, let's go ahead here and give several of the states to either of the candidates here. On the extremities of the electoral map, the Democrats will end up winning. And these are the states which are safe states for the Republicans and Democrats to win in the 2024 election. So we're going to go ahead and give these states to the particular candidates here. Now, I will be putting Iowa as being a safe state due to the fact that it has been shifting towards the right ever since 2016, really. Since 2016, rather, we have seen that it has shifted to the right more recently. Obviously, in the state of Iowa, you did see that an abortion measure was enacted by the voters in that state. So you do see that it does have some quite conservative tendencies in that particular state. Colorado and New Mexico will be safe for now, and then New Mexico will be likely. The state of Ohio, I will be putting it as being likely, and we're going to go ahead and give New York as being safe for Joe Biden. We're going to go ahead and give the state of Illinois as being safe as well. The state of Texas will be likely, not likely, but lean, and the state of Florida will be lean as well. So there you have several states there in your electoral map, along with the state of Alaska as being likely, and also the state of Minnesota, in this case, would be lean, and the state of Virginia as being lean. The state of New Hampshire would be likely, and we will go ahead and give Donald Trump several congressional districts in the state of Nebraska. We'll go ahead and give Joe Biden several congressional districts in the state of Maine. So Joe Biden will win several congressional districts in the state of Maine, amounting up to 3 electoral votes. All right, so there we have several of our states. We have 7 states left blank and 2 congressional districts left blank. And these states and congressional districts will really determine the results of the 2024 election. Now, I know some people might speculate that Minnesota could possibly be a swing state, and I would go ahead and put it as being a swing state due to the fact that Joe Biden is only leading in this particular state by around 3 to 2 points. And also the state of Virginia could also be characterized as a swing state. Joe Biden's only leading by around 4.4%. Which is very interesting in that particular state. So let's go ahead and take a look at most of the polls in these particular states. And I will say that if we do it based off of the polls, so if we do this entire election based strictly off of polls from Real Care Politic, we see that Trump's leading in Michigan, he's leading in Wisconsin, he's leading in Nevada, he's also behind in Pennsylvania, and ahead in Georgia and Arizona. So if we did this strictly based off of polling data, the result that we would get was that Trump would end up winning in Nevada, Trump would end up winning in Arizona, Trump would end up winning in Georgia, and also North Carolina. The polling, I don't have the polling data right now, but I do know that Trump is ahead in most of the polls in the state of North Carolina, most of them, if not all, and the state of Wisconsin and Michigan. So then we would have Joe Biden winning the state of Pennsylvania if we were to do this strictly off of polling data. And then we would have Joe Biden at 244 electoral votes, Donald Trump at 292. And then we have the 2 congressional districts, which we would have to fill in that particular scenario. Although we're going to do a 269 matchup. So in this scenario, what states would Joe Biden win? What states would he be most likely to win? Well, when you look at these states here, one of the other close states is the state of Wisconsin. Trump's only ahead by 0.6%. And also the state of Pennsylvania, Trump's behind by 0.1%. So he's ahead by only 0.6%, and Biden's leading by 0.1%. So let's go ahead and give the state of Wisconsin to Joe Biden, and also the state of Pennsylvania to Joe Biden. Okay, so Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. That puts Joe Biden at 254 electoral votes. Now let's take a look at the state of Nevada. Now, some people do say that Nevada polling overestimates Republicans. That could be the case. Trump's ahead by 3.2% currently. According to RCP's aggregate, you can see that he's ahead in most of the polls. Biden is in the lead in some polls, although some people do say that Nevada polling does tend to overestimate Republicans. So some people will dispute the state of Nevada. We'll come back to the state of Nevada in a second. Although the state of Arizona, Trump does seem to be having a clear lead. Trump's ahead by 4.5%. Now, I will say that polling data is showing that Trump is a little bit underperforming compared to where he was in maybe January or even February in some instances. We do see that Trump's ahead only by 4.5%, which is a lot. Although when you compare it to previously, when you look at around March, you can see that Trump was ahead by around 5.4%. So he is dipping a little bit in the polling data. So Trump's only ahead by 4.5%. All right. But nevertheless, that is a pretty good margin for him. So he's at 218 right now. We'll go ahead and give him the state of Arizona. Also, we'll give him the state of North Carolina. Don't have polling up right now for North Carolina, although Trump is ahead. If you look at RCP's polling, Trump's ahead in the state of North Carolina as well. That puts Donald Trump at 245 and Joe Biden at 254. In the state of Georgia, this particular state, Donald Trump is also ahead by good margins. He's ahead by 3.8%. Again, it is going down more recently. If you look at more recently, Trump's ahead by 3.8%, whereas before it was around 5% in around March. So in March, it was around that margin. So we will go ahead and give it to Donald Trump in that particular state. So that was Donald Trump at 261 and Joe Biden at 254. Now you could probably see how this matchup would end up working, or at least you could kind of speculate at this point. In this scenario, Donald Trump could win the state of Michigan, right? If Donald Trump wins the state of Michigan, that'll put him over 270. He's ahead by 2.8%, although Nevada he's ahead by 3.2%. Now some people will say that Nevada polling overestimates Republicans, hence a 3.2% lead for Trump is not necessarily a 3.2% lead, and it might be smaller, and Michigan polling data might have Trump more ahead compared to the state of Nevada. I could see that argument working. Although, if we give him the state of Michigan, obviously that would make Trump cross 269 electoral votes. So, in this particular scenario, we would obviously have to give him the state of Nevada in order for him to reach 267. And then Joe Biden, I would have to be forced to give him the state of Michigan. Joe Biden would end up winning the state of Michigan if we were to see a 269 tie. So, with those states in, we have Joe Biden at 269 and Donald Trump at 267, which would mean obviously that Donald Trump would have to win Maine's 2nd congressional district, which he won in both 2016 and 2020, and Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, which he won in 2016 but lost in 2020. Now, based on this scenario, it could kind of show you why Republicans are wanting to do a specific thing. Because recently, a tweet posted by Charlie Kirk, who is a right-wing commentator, I believe he's a part of Turning Point USA, or he's the CEO or something around Turning Point USA. He's a part of that company, or I don't know if it's a company, but whatever it is, he's a right-wing commentator, and he recently tried to get the idea to put all of Nebraska's congressional districts together. So put them all together as one congressional district. So as one state rather. So in this case, we have 2 electoral votes, and then we have 3 electoral votes split up. So what he tweeted out was that let's make it all 5 electoral votes. So in that scenario, for example, the state of Kansas, for example, could have some liberal areas, right? There are certain areas in Kansas that are liberal. Although Kansas as a whole is a conservative state. It votes, pretty red. It's a dark red state. But if we were to break Kansas into districts like we do for the state of Nebraska in the general election, you could see that certain districts would be competitive for Biden, and Biden could potentially win. Although if we have it like it is right now in the state of Kansas, where we have it all worth 6 electoral votes, in that scenario, Joe Biden has no chance of winning in the state of Kansas. Similarly, Charlie Kirk tweeted out that he wants to make Nebraska one entire state with 5 electoral votes. In that scenario, we would see that Donald Trump would win all 5 electoral votes. And this actually got a lot of attention, and it's been getting a lot of attention and been circulating around. And the reason why this is so crucial, if this happens, is because Joe Biden does have a good shot of winning Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. If Joe Biden wins Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, boom, he's at 270. Although if Donald Trump wins Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, which is not extremely likely since he lost it by around 6 points in 2020, he would be at 269. So it would effectively tie the Electoral College. Although if Donald Trump loses it, he has no shot at all. If he wins it, it goes directly to the House of Representatives. In that scenario, what you would have is potentially Trump could get reelected through the House of Representatives in that particular matchup. So that is why they're trying to do it, to make it more secure that Donald Trump can win all of those 5 electoral votes and hence get to 269 and then sending it over to the House of Representatives. If Republicans do that, it's a big win for them in terms of even future elections potentially. But yeah, that is one of the things that I wanted to point out, because if that development does occur, that would be an extremely crucial development in terms of the electoral map and the entire 2024 election. But this would be a 269-269 matchup between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Now, there might be one or two other scenarios that you could put together. Although this is the scenario that I have right now, where Trump wins the state of Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Nebraska's second congressional district, and then Joe Biden wins, and also Maine's second congressional district. But then Joe Biden wins the Rust Belt states, along with the state of Minnesota, Virginia, and New Hampshire. But this is my 269-269 matchup between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Make sure you like the video and subscribe as we ending today's video. And hopefully I'll have another video posted by next week. Now, I might do a GOP trifecta in which the GOP gets a full House Representatives and the Senate and the presidency, and seeing how that would play out. I might do that video next week. And then the week after that, I might do a Democrat trifecta in which Democrats win the House of Representatives, Senate, and the presidency, and how that would work out. So I might be posting those videos in the next 1 week and then also the next 2 weeks. So make sure you're staying tuned for that video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.